Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. 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 Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari. Girivaradari. Yashoda Nanda-Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nanda-Braja. Yashoda Nanda-Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashoda Nanda-Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopijana Girivaradari. Yashoda Nanda-Braja Jana Ranjana. Nanda-Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe. Radha Madhava Madhava Shri. Jaya Radha Kala Sanji Radha Kala Sanji Shri Radhe. Sanji Radha Kala Sanji Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe. Govinda Shri Radhe. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Radhakala Chandraji ki jai, Shri Shri Gauranitai ki jai, Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai. All glories to simple devotees. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskritya. Narayanam Namaskritya. Naram Jaiva Narottamam. Naram Jaiva Narottamam. Devyam Sarasvatim Dvisyam. Devyam Sarasvatim Vasyam. Tatojayam Yudirayat. Tatojayam Yudirayat. Okay. So, we've got chapter 16. This chapter is entitled Lord Parsuram Destroys the World's Ruling Class. So we've had a few intense days the last 3 days, huh? We had Ekadashi 3 days ago, and with a fast till noon. And then next day we had Lord Vraha's appearance day, and we broke fast at 9 o'clock that day, 9:10 or 9:11 to be exactly. And then we had Lord Nityananda's appearance day, and we had another fast till noon. So we've had 3 days of very nice austerities. And not only have we had 3 days of these nice austerities, I've got my phone. If you want to hold it, of nice austerities and sacrifice for the Supreme Person. It's been, we've had this snowstorm too, so we make it a little bit more austere, right? So we've had to brave the cold. You've possibly had to brave the indoors for 3 days, and for these sacrifices for Krishna. So, anyways, hope everybody is doing well. Everybody's feeling nice and purified from these 3 days of austerities. I know that I'm feeling pretty up. I feel like Nityananda's mercy is very, 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 very kind. So I was hoping that your rounds were nice this morning or today when you chant them, and Nityananda's Lord Nityananda's mercy will be there. So, chapter 16, Lord Parsuram destroys the world's ruling class. I'm thinking that in each chapter here on the Bhagavatam we have our, a summary of the chapter. So I'm wondering if we should read the summary or we should go right into the text. Jai Hari, what do you think? Should we read the summary or go right into the text and just read the summary? Okay, let's do it. You want to read the first?
Actually, my purpose
only up to chapter 8. Oh no. Okay. You want to come stand right there, and we can read together. Okay. And if you're at home, you can read along also. Here you go. Okay. You can. Yeah.
Chapter 16, Lord Parashurama destroys the world's ruling class. When Jamadagni was killed by the sons of Kartaviryarjuna, as described in this chapter, Parashurama rid the entire world of Kshatriyas 21 times. This chapter also describes the descendants of Vishwamitra. When Jamadagni's wife, Renuka, went to bring water from the Ganges and saw the king of the Gandharvas enjoying the company of Apsaras, she was captivated and she slightly desired to associate with him. Because of this sinful desire, she was punished by her husband. Parashurama killed his mother and brothers, but later, by dint of the austerities of Jamadagni, they were revived. The son of Kartavir Yarjuna, however, remembering the death of their father, wanted to take revenge against Lord Parashurama. And therefore, when Parashurama was absent from the ashram, they killed Jamadagni, who was meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Parashurama returned to the ashram and saw his father killed, he was very sorry, and after asking his brothers to take care of the dead body, he went out with determination to kill all the Kshatriyas on the surface of the world. Taking up his axe, he went to Mahismatipura, the capital of Kartavirjarjuna, and killed all of Kartavirjarjuna's sons, whose blood became a great river. Parashurama, however, was not satisfied with killing only the sons of Kartavirjarjuna. Later, when the Kshatriyas became disturbing, he killed them 21 times, so that there were no Kshatriyas on the surface of the earth. Thereafter, Parashurama joined the head of his father to the dead body and performed various sacrifices to please the Supreme Lord. Thus, Jamadagni got life again in his body, and later he was promoted to the higher planetary system known as Saptarishi Mandala. Parashurama, the son of Jamadagni, still lives in Mahavendra Parvat. In the next Manvantara, he will become a preacher of Vedic knowledge. In the dynasty of Gadhi, the most powerful Vishwamitra took birth. By dint of his austerity and penance, he became a Brahmin. He had 101 sons who were celebrated as the Machudanas. In the sacrificial arena of Harishchandra, the son of Ajigart named Sunaseptha was meant to be sacrificed, but by the mercy of the Prajapatis, he was released. Thereafter, he became Devarata in the dynasty of Gadhi. The 50 elder sons of Vishwamitra, however, did not accept Sunaseptha as their elder brother, and therefore Vishwamitra cursed them to become Malechas, unfaithful to the Vedic civilization. Vishwamitra's 51st son, along with his younger brothers, then accepted Sunaseptha as their elder brother, and their father, Vishwamitra, being satisfied, blessed them. Thus, Devarata was accepted in the dynasty of Kaushikya, and consequently, there are different divisions of that dynasty.
I got this microphone.
Oh, okay.
A lot of nice names, right? Yeah. Okay, let me just double check here. I'm gonna see what verse 18 and 19. So let's check it out here. Okay, text, Canto 9, chapter 16, verses 18-19. Tadriktena nadin goram, tadriktena nadim goram, abramanya vayavyaham, abramanyaya bhavyaham, Hetam kritva patrivandam. Hetam kritva patrivandam. Satre mangala karani. Satre mangala karini. Tadrektena nadim goram. Abramanya bhaya vyaham. Hetam kritva patirvadam. Satre mangala karani. Tri supta kritva prityavam. Tri saptam kritva pritavim. Tri supta kritva nikshatrayam prabhu. Samanta panka. Oh, it says pancake, but it's not. Look, pancake. Samanta pancake, kakre, chakre. Samta pancake, chakre. Sanitan hirdana navaha. Sanitana harandava. Okay, we'll go to the synonyms or translations. Ta Rektain, by the blood of the sons of Karatavir Yarjuna. Nadim, a river. Goram, fierce. Abramanya Baya Avyam. Abramanya Baba. Causing fear to the kings who had no respect for Brahmanical culture. So here, causing fear for the kings who had no respect for Brahmanical culture. Hetam, cause. Kritva, accepting. Pitirvadam, the killing of his father. Shatre, when the whole royal class. Amangala Karani, was acting very inauspicious. Tri Sapta Kritvaha, 21 times. Pritavim, the entire world. Kritva, making. Nikyasatriyam, without a Kshatriya dynasty. Prabhu, the Supreme Lord, Parshuram. Samanta Pankaka. I can't get out of my head pancake. I'm sorry. I apologize. At the place known as Sampa. What's it? Panchaka? Okay. Samanta Panchaka. At the place known as Samanta Panchaka. Thank you. Chakre, he made. Sonita Udan, filled the blood instead of the water. Hirdan, lakes. Nava, 9. Okay, translation. And purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. When the blood of the bodies of these sons, with the blood of the bodies of these sons, Lord Parshuram created a ghastly river, which brought great fear to the kings who had no respect for Brahmana culture. Because the Kshatriyas, the men of the power in government, were performing sinful activities, Lord Parshuram, on the plea of retaliating for the murder of his father, rid all the Kshatriyas from the face of the earth 21 times. Indeed, in the place known as Samanapankaha, he created 9 lakes filled with their blood. Please repeat. With the blood of the bodies of these sons, Lord Parshuram created a ghastly river, which brought great fear to the kings who had no respect for Brahminical culture. Because the Kshatriyas, the men of power in government, were performing sinful activities, Lord Parshuram, on the plea of retaliating for the murder of his father, rid all the Kshatriyas from the face of the earth 21 times. Indeed, in the place known as Samantapandika, He created 9 lakes filled with their blood. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Parshuram is the Supreme Person of Godhead, and his eternal mission is Patranaya Sadhum Vinashaya Cha Dukshatam, to protect devotees and annihilate the miscreants. To kill all sinful men is one among the tasks of the incarnation of Godhead. Lord Parshuram killed all the Kshatriyas 21 times consecutively because they were disobedient to the Brahminical culture. The Kshatriyas had killed his father. The Kshatriyas had killed his father was only a plea. The Kshatriyas had killed his father was only a plea. The real fact is that because the Kshatriyas, the ruling class, had become polluted, their position was inauspicious. Brahminical culture is enjoyed in the Shastras. Brahminical culture is enjoined in the Shastra, especially in Bhagavad Gita. Chatru Varanam Maya Sritam Guna Karam Vibhagashaha. According to the laws of nature, whether at the time of Parshuram or at the present, if the government becomes irresponsible and sinful, not caring for Brahminical culture, there will certainly be an incarnation of God like Parshuram to create a devastation by fire, famine, pestilence, or some other calamity. Whenever the government disrespects the supreme supremacy of the personality of Godhead and fails to protect the institution of Varnashram Dharma, it will certainly have to face such catastrophes as firmly brought about by Lord Parshuram. Om Vigantimarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Samyena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vanchikalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Panebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pashani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatai Deshatai. So I was thinking about, I was once talking to some people in the office that I worked at, and they were, it was during the pandemic, and it was really interesting because they were speaking about how it was God's arrangement that this pandemic was going, that God was mad, and I remember hearing this and trying to get a perspective of it, trying to understand it from maybe our culture as Hare Krishnas. I'm not saying that I'm going to give what kind of my thoughts and stuff, but I'm not saying I'm exactly right. I was just trying to get some perspective of it. And this is what I was understanding when I was hearing from them. It seemed like they were like blaming Krishna or God about the pandemic. And it, unfortunately, there was no understanding of taking responsibility for our part in this deal. It seemed like it was just Krishna was doing the pandemic, and it was just his doing. And it kind of got me a little angry because I was like, it was like they're blaming God on it more than saying it was God's arrangement because of what I was thinking of our misuse of this material energy, our freedom. I kind of look at it like this, that Krishna is giving us a sandbox, and he gives us a sandbox, and he says, "Go ahead." Or actually, we could look at it like this: like our parents are giving us a a sandbox, and our parents say, here's us. You remember the turtle sandboxes? You remember the turtle sandboxes that you remember? Like they are like a turtle, and inside was like sand. Yeah, right. Yeah, you could cover it to make sure that the local animals didn't do anything in the sandbox, if you know what I mean. Yeah, these turtles, and then Yeah, that's funny. You could cover it with the shell, and it's like, okay, your parents give you this sandbox, right? And they say, don't eat the sand. You can play with it. You can make sand castles. You can do so many different things with your sandbox, but don't eat the sand. And we say, the 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old eats the sand. Says, you know what? I want to try it. And they get a really bad tummy ache, you know, and they're not feeling good. And they say, you know what, Mom and Dad, this is your fault because you gave me the sandbox. You gave me the sandbox to, you know, let me play and make, you know, build my sandcastles and stuff, but it gave me a stomach ache. And Mom and Dad are like, wait a minute, you know, we gave you one rule, you know, don't eat the sand. And then you ate the sand and you're telling us it's our fault because we got you the sandbox. Okay, it's a little rough, but you can understand kind of how ridiculous it is to be blaming the parents on the stomach ache if you were giving instructions not to eat the sand. So similarly in this material world, we're given some instructions about how to work within it so that we're not causing problems, so that we can actually get out of it. But this is called Vedic knowledge, right? The Vedic knowledge is teaching us what the rules and regulations of the sandbox. And we're sitting here breaking all the rules of this material world, breaking all the rules of the sandbox, and these people were like, oh, you know, it's Krishna's fault that this pandemic's here, you know, this situation. So I was trying to explain, like, you know, maybe we should pay attention more to about how we're, you know, causing these disturbances in this material world, so that that these things are happening. So you can see that in the purport Srila Prabhupada speaking on, that these Kshatriyas. Just a second, let me grab a glass of water here. The kings, the Kshatriyas, kingly order, are causing so many disturbances on the earth, not following the principles of Vedic culture, and our Brahmanical culture even is not being followed, and so so many disturbances are happening. So Krishna incarnates as Parshuram and takes care of it. So we can understand that sooner or later. One thing that I got to admit I don't quite understand is that, you know, it seems to me like this world is really very, very, very tough, you know, in certain ways. You know, there's so many disturbances, so many sickening things we're hearing from the news and this stuff, and so many. But you know, for Krishna to come in his next incarnation and take care of all this irreligion, you know, he comes as Kalki and so long. Well, you know what? Actually, I'm thinking about something different, because actually Krishna came as the incarnation of Lord Chaitanya to help establish the Sankirtan movement, so that these irreligious activities, this Brahmanical culture that's being misused and misguided, can be fixed, right? And then Krishna sends his representative also to help us. So we see that Srila Prabhupada has come just 50 years ago and given us so many books. Actually, you know, we know that it's mentioned that Srila Prabhupada's books will be the law books for the next 10,000 years. It's very, very significant that we have Srila Prabhupada's books, Srila Prabhupada's purports, so that we can understand how to serve Krishna. Our perspective, Srila Prabhupada is giving us a proper perspective on how to serve. We can go through the Vedic knowledge, we can go through the Vedas, and we can argue about anything, really. Some person might say this, some person might say this, because the Vedic knowledge is so vast that you can find just about anything to argue anything. However, the wonderful thing about the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is he's directly giving us the understanding about how to see the Vedas. He's giving us the eyes, right? What we say in the morning, he's opened. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. So we don't Srila Prabhupada's instructions, Srila Prabhupada's books, Srila Prabhupada's purports. We don't try to overstep these purports by some Vedic knowledge, some Shastra. Oh, I found this verse. There's a story of this devotee who he was a brahmachari. I'm forgetting his name. It might have been Janardana. No, that's Jayasachi Nandanan. It might be Jayasachi Nandanan brahmachari. And he found in the Shastra, it says that we shouldn't hear songs from women singing. And so he brought this to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada saying, Prabhupada, we're listening to Yamuna Devi, Mother Yamuna, in the morning for every morning, and Shastra says we shouldn't hear women singing. So we should change this. And Srila Prabhupada immediately said, no, we should, not only is Mother Yamuna singing in that, but so many other people are singing it. And, I've instructed that this be played in our all of our temples in the morning. And so we can understand from this example. He ended up leaving the movement later. That we don't find Shastra to defeat Guru's purports, to defeat Guru's instructions. We're looking at Shastra to support Guru's instructions. And if we become too on this platform of putting Vedic knowledge over Srila Prabhupada's instructions, then we are certainly lost. I kind of just realized I went on a tangent there from the purport of Persuram. So excuse me if I've gone too far away from Srila Prabhupada's purports. But it is really so important to understand that Srila Prabhupada is giving us the perspective and giving us the intelligence to understand Shastra, to give us the eyes of how to work together in this movement and move forward. And with this, we can help in making Brahminical culture in a way that will please Srila Prabhupada, that will please Krishna, that will please Lord Chaitanya, and we can overcome so many different obstacles, like bad government, bad Brahminical culture, bad, so many of these different things, problems we have in this earth, right? We can overcome them by reading Srila Prabhupada's books and him giving us understanding how to overcome and to change the world. So, it is 8:21. I've monologued a little bit, which I don't necessarily like to do so much in my classes. I really liked hearing from other people. Jai Hari, who's sitting here very patiently hearing. Do you have any comments, thoughts, questions, corrections? There we go.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the class. I don't really have anything to add, but I could just support.
Yeah. And
I could just say that Srila Prabhupada's purports are the best. Right? I'm so grateful that he's given us these purports to understand the Srimad Bhagavatam, because as we know that if we have any troubles in the heart, that taking shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam is the way to almost completely eradicate those troubles in the heart. And so it's really important to take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, but Srimad Bhagavatam cannot be understood just by one's study at home. It has to be discussed, right? And so Srila Prabhupada has given us the purports which can give us the greater understanding of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the literary incarnation of Krishna.
Say that last part again.
The literary incarnation of Krishna.
Literary incarnation of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srimad Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Yeah.
I was one thing that popped out when you said is discuss we must discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srila Prabhupada's giving us purports that we can discuss and understand and go deeper into, right? That's we can wonder what Srila Prabhupada means right here, or this is a really interesting point that Srila Prabhupada has mentioned here, and just from those purports we can discuss so many things and try to understand Srila Prabhupada's mood, right? Try to understand where he's, that the vision that he's trying to give us. I really like that point. Discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. And we can discuss Srila Prabhupada's purports.
Yeah, because from what I heard, this is all from what I heard, but that we should actually try to learn the mood of Srila Prabhupada, and then that's number one, and then number two, if we can make that mood as our own, not to like what is it called? Imitate, yeah. But to follow, right, and to actually kind of integrate, right? Make that mood as our own, and then number three would be the best if we can share that mood with others,
It takes some walking a tightrope at first, right? And a little bit, like of understanding how you're either copying or imitating, or how that you're taking that mood and with your own personal individual self. How do you take that mood and apply it in your life, right?
Oh yeah, that's a really good comment, because like I actually always have a question about that, because it seems like it seems challenging, right? Because for me personally, right, trying to imitate versus trying to follow, like I always have a question about that, because if we're kind of not pushing it, right? If we're not kind of like pushing it, sometimes we can try to push the boundaries, but then I guess if we kind of have a little, whatever, hit the wall or something, then we know, okay, that's maybe too much for me. I guess my question is, if this is understandable, is like, what is the boundary of imitation versus following? How do we push that limit?
I think that Srila Prabhupada says in the purport of Nectar of Instruction that it's the sincerity of the devotee that we're looking for. We want people who are sincere. So I think that and understanding that our sincerity to try to understand Srila Prabhupada, understand Krishna, that with that sincerity comes correction, and that's okay. It's okay if we're corrected by Krishna and his representative. When you have that personal relationship with somebody, and it's built on trust and it's that strong relationship, then it's okay that Krishna's correcting us, or Srila Prabhupada's correcting us, right? So what I'm trying to say is that through our sincerity, if we're imitating at first, but yet we want to be, we want to serve Krishna nicely, we want to serve Guru nicely, we want to serve Srila Prabhupada nicely, then through our own honesty, then we will get information, we will get Krishna's mercy to understand how we're imitating, and maybe how we can not just imitate, but we can understand the mood more and how to apply it. So sometimes they say, fake it to make it at first. So first we're faking it, I don't know if you have this experience, but inside I'm thinking, You know, every once in a while, like, you're not even a devotee, Nanda. You're like, you know, like you're like, you know, you're faking it. You're not sincere. You know, these things come up in our, you know, in us to really say, gosh, you know, we have so far to go, and you know, like, you're not even trying. Anyway, so many negative talks, right? Ants, negative thoughts, something,
Automatic negative thinking.
Automatic negative thoughts, right? But these even can be okay if we're willing to be sincere and try to understand it's not our false ego just making us the most important, making us the center. If we adjust that to say, okay, if I have these problems, if I have these difficulties, if I am faking it, okay, what can I do better? What can I do better? How can I move forward? And then they actually don't become, you know, an impediment in our Krishna consciousness. They become a stepping stone in our Krishna consciousness because we're willing to correct it. We're sincere in trying to move forward. So it's okay, you know. But if the sincerity to not fix it isn't there, then what can we do? We're stuck. Then we'll just keep on making that same offense over and over and over, and we'll never learn from our mistake. But through sincerity, if we're trying to learn from our mistakes, trying to move forward, being open, you know, willing to, Vaisheshika Prabhu says, I live to be corrected. Have you heard this before? I live to be corrected. If we have that mood of, Krishna, I'm trying, I'm doing the best I can, please correct me. Please, you know, I'm not saying I'm there yet, but in my classes, I'm asking, does anybody have any corrections? And I understand that sometimes it might not be appropriate in a sense that you know, raise my hand and say, you were wrong about this, this, and this. But I'd hope that if I did make a mistake, that somebody would some way or shape or form text message me, talk to me, and say, hey, you're making this mistake here, you know, this, you know, this, you're off here like that, you know, this and that. Then gosh, then I'm not going to continue just to make that mistake, right? You know? So if we have that sincerity to overcome maybe our faking it or our, what's the word we were saying? Imitating. If we want to correct our imitating, and instead of correct it by understanding the mood and how to apply it, then it's okay. It's, you know, Krishna will help us. What are your thoughts? What do you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. Like I heard, from what I heard, I mean, to be corrected is definitely mercy, you know? Like, and what you were saying was reminding me of the 6 Goswamis in Vrindavan, you know? Because from what I heard, there's people that always go up and say, oh, I love Krishna, right? Someone told me that the people are always going up and they're saying, oh, I love Krishna, right? But the 6 Goswamis in Vrindavan, even though they're like the topmost examples of love of Krishna, right? They're always saying, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Right? They never like, you know, they never look at the you know, deity and say, oh, there's Krishna. Okay, I'm good. See ya. You know, they're always like, where is Krishna? Right? And that mood that they have is kind of like, I guess, what you were saying, I'm not a devotee. That's actually a great mood, in my personal opinion, and from what I've heard as well. Is because if the minute we think that we are, then we're not, right? But if we're constantly thinking, you know, just like the 6 Goswamis, if we can think in that way, you know, that where is Krishna? I'm not anything, right? Then we can, it's that search, right? That search is you know, can make us go towards Krishna somehow, right? Because I mean, I don't understand, you know, anything, but like I can try, you know, and like you're saying, it's this the trying, it's that sincerity for this. it's really all we have, from what I heard,
Mm.
is increasing the desire, right? Because if everything is taken away from us, our bank account, our house, our friends, our family, right? Every single material attachment that we ever have is going to be taken away from us, right? Our mind, our subtle body, our gross body. I'm not sure about the subtle body. So I would like to ask somebody about that. But from what I heard, the only thing that we can really carry with us, right, is the devotional service that we've done. That's like never taken away, right? Krishna says, Bhagavad Gita, I will preserve what you have and carry what you lack, right? So really, like, you know, when we are transmigrating, it's just the desire. That's all we can have. So the only real, like, kind of stock we can have in this world, if you want to call it that, is just to increase our desire to love Krishna.
Jai. I was thinking, when you were talking, I was thinking, you know, we're chanting Hare Krishna, asking for service. And if you want service, then, if we want to love Krishna in a way that is the most desirable for him, then we have a relationship, right? You know, so we're asking for service, and Krishna's sending things around us to, you know, to adjust that service, because he knows it will please, you know, because Krishna's mood is, I want this person to be happy, so I know they'll be most happy if they serve, you know, if we have this kind of relationship, you know. So we're chanting Hare Krishna, and then somebody comes along and is willing to help us a little bit in adjusting our perspective, and we say, nope, that's not, you know, that's you know, that's definitely not Krishna's arrangement, you know, I don't want to, more of like the mood of, I don't want to be fixed in that way. And it kind of reminds me of the person who's stranded on the island, and, you know, Krishna, you know, God, please save me, and they send a boat, and he's like, no, thank you. Sends a helicopter, no, thank you. So we're asking Krishna, you know, please engage me in your service. And that service is already there, right? We already have that relationship, that ultimate service that we have with Krishna, that ultimate relationship. And so if we're chanting nicely, chanting with sincerity, then Krishna's going to send helicopters and airplanes and boats and stuff to help us become, you know, to adjust that, you know, adjust our mood so that we can serve him correctly. It is 8:35, and Gopal Prabhu has made breakfast, breakfast prasadam, so I won't hold you any longer, okay? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveda Bhaktavinda ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol.